You can now refund your Fortnite items from the FTC lawsuit. The deadline to apply for refund, January 17th, 2024. This is because Epic Games, who made Fortnite, lost an FTC case for dark patterns existing in their games that led to a ton of children purchasing items in-game with their parents' money that their parents did not authorize, and that their children were very much coerced into purchasing, making it very easy for them to purchase them in-game and marketing these items to them and making that checkout process very, very easy for these children on a game that Epic knows there are a ton of kids, a ton of minors that play. And so they lost this case because their game contains so much psychological conditioning that minors especially are very susceptible to. If your child made charges to your credit card without your knowledge between January 2017 and November 2018, you can get a full refund for all those things. If you were charged in-game currency for items you didn't want between January 2017 and September 2022, very long stretch of time, you can apply for a refund. If your account was locked between January 2017 and September 2022 after you complained to your credit card company about wrongful charges, you can also be refunded, because what it seems like, Epic also started locking out accounts that started disputing these charges to avoid them having to refund the money and to stop the disputes from continuing. So Epic marked your account as being problematic because you kept wanting refunds, and so it locked you out entirely. Epic has agreed to pay $245 million to settle these allegations related to the in-game purchases. And this is pretty huge because these dark patterns, these psychological conditioning methods that are expertly employed by top psychologists in their field, top game designers, these specialists, these people have preyed on their player base of children, have made it very easy for them to make these purchases. It's finally biting them in the ass. And hopefully to have such a huge game like Fortnite, one of the biggest games currently, to do this and to roll back some of these things that they're employing on their player base. Hopefully this sets a major precedent, because more game developers need to fall in line. More game developers need to understand that this stuff that they're doing is not ethical, and that it is very predatory to compel these people and to employ these tricks to get them to spend more money on your games. This stuff very much toes the line of gambling, a lot of these other nefarious things, and it should not be acceptable in games that are marketed to children, where they're their target audience. And it also shouldn't be so easy for you to have a card on file and for you to hit purchase and have your kids run up your bill and you not know about it. Now, you can blame the parents and you can say, well, they should be monitoring these things more. They shouldn't be letting their credit card be saved onto these accounts and stuff like that. And not every parent is tech savvy enough to even know that these things do get saved, or know that their kid can make these purchases without some level of confirmation from the parents, and they just didn't know these things. And obviously the technology literacy needs to improve for the parents as well, so these things don't happen as much. But really the onus is on the part of the game developer taking advantage of these psychological tactics and these loopholes in, well, what were loopholes in how these purchases were allowed to be made, and the level of security that was required on their part to have these payments be processed. When I was younger and I played Xbox Live a lot, I had a friend who his mom gave him the credit card info. He saved the credit card info and he would just buy stuff whenever he wanted as like an 11-year-old. I don't know if his mom ever really knew the wiser until later on there were issues with, like, I think their card got hacked or something, like some catastrophic shit, and they lost money and somebody like fleeced them and he got scammed by some guy online, the equivalent of like a 10th prestige lobby on Modern Warfare 2, that kind of thing, and then they steal your IP or they steal your, hey, just give me your card info and I'll make sure you get the stuff, whatever. That stuff happens all the time. So that's obviously not a good idea. You shouldn't give your kids that access to your banking information or your credit card info or anything like that. Yes, but also these companies should not be creating entire systems and employing these tactics to trick your child or to coerce your child or to prey on your child's FOMO or wanting to look cool or whatever it is to get them to buy these things and compel them to do that either. Ultimately, rightfully so, Epic owes a lot of money and they're going to be issuing these refunds. So if you don't play Fortnite anymore, maybe you could just ask for a refund, even say that you didn't want the purchases or something, and you'll probably get a settlement, I would imagine. Or if your kid did this, absolutely fucking apply for this refund. These companies have to know that they cannot just indefinitely get away with doing this kind of thing to their players, to their audience, to their consumer base. They cannot do this. There are so many nefarious systems, schemes, and business practices employed in present day online gaming. It is dangerous, especially when there are so many children that play these games, even for games that are rated T for teen or E for everyone or whatever. And you also have to understand, like, whether it's right or not, even the games that are rated M for mature, kids still play those games. The parents still let those kids play the games. So whether you have children or not, you shouldn't want, even as just a normal player, you shouldn't want these predatory marketing and psychological tactics to be constantly assaulting your senses every time you go to engage in a digital toy that's supposed to give you recreational entertainment. You shouldn't have to be assaulted by advertisements, subtle, subliminal, or explicit, in the form of, skins or loot boxes or pack openings or fucking, rares and ultra rares and camos and characters and better loot and better items and upgrades and bonuses to the resources you gather for 24 hours and all these different things. These are all things that prey, especially if you have any gambling issue or addictive tendencies. This stuff can really get out of hand quickly, even for a grown adult, which you can say, they know what they're doing. They should be able to blah, blah, blah. But there's a line where I think we have to look at some of these things being employed in our entertainment and say, is it cool that these tactics exist and that these are something we have to deal with? Is it cool you have to constantly be exercising self-control to not buy the coolest new items in the game that you really like, probably to look cool, or because maybe it'll make you think better at the game? I don't think it's cool. I don't think it's cool to be doing all this fear of missing out bullshit and just preying on people's insecurities or preying on people's impressionability or preying on people's addictive tendencies or their gambling tendencies and these habits and these issues or their disposable income and all these different things. By all means, make your bread, make your money by making a good product, by making a fun ass video game that people want to spend money on, not because they're being tricked, not because they're being coerced into doing it, not because every single aspect of your gameplay experience funnels you into making a purchase, that it is not all a means to an end for you to make more money off of your player, but to actually deliver an exciting, engaging, fulfilling, fun experience for your player. And if they just so happen to want to support the devs, if they just so happen to want to throw their hat into the ring, buy some cool cosmetic, non-gameplay affecting items, by all means go for it, but do not shove it down people's throats. Make them feel bad if they don't have it. Make them feel like they're missing out if they don't have it. Make them feel like they'll be better at the game if they don't have it, whether it's subliminal or not. We need to crack down on these things, and hopefully this FTC lawsuit and Epic in this massive game that they've made, losing this lawsuit shows other developers, large and small, that maybe they should scale back some of these nefarious business practices they've been employing and getting away with murder and making money hand over fist for years. Maybe it's time to scale that back. Maybe it's time to focus again on making good video games instead, and not just good storefronts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited for this? Are you going to ask for a refund? Do you not care at all? Do you think it's cool to be marketed to every time you go to try to play video games? Let me know your thoughts down below. It really means a lot to me when you guys like the video. If you enjoy it, it lets me know you like that kind of content and I should keep doing it. And it also means a great deal to me when you guys subscribe, hit that bell as well to get notifications. Subscribing is free. Please subscribe if you enjoy and you want to see more videos like this. I cover a wide range of topics in tech and video games and a bunch of other stuff that interests me. I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me. You have no idea. And I'll see you on the next one. I hope you're having a great day.